Well, good evening, Information Nation. It is your girl, Lady on the Go, Lady in the Know, Miss Info. You have reached the Information Nation where knowledge is shared and wisdom exchanged for the betterment of a people. Good evening. Listen, I want to talk to you just a little bit on the premise of, this is a question, are we better off now than in the past? You know, you always say, or you hear people say, back in the day. Man, did you ever think it would be you saying, well, back when I was a youngin' or when I was a kid? Man, I find myself longing for back in the day. There are about 349 million people living in the U.S. It's about 70% white, 20% Hispanic. Yeah, we bringing up the rear, y'all. About 13 or 14% black. Asian and other ethnicities make up the rest. So we are definitely still a minority. I looked at a recent article that I ran across from the Pew Research Foundation. They did a survey that covered 90 days for 3 months. It was conducted among 40,448 participants across the globe in 38 countries. Okay? This is a overall feeling of, are we better off now than we were before? In the U.S., the response was 41% thought that we were worse off. 37% thought we were better off. Now, mind you, this report was done in 23. I believe I'm right. I will put the stats and the information up in the comments. 41% of U.S. respondents said that we were worse off. 37% said we were better off. Conversely, Vietnam said 4%, only 4% thought they were worse off, and 88% said they were doing a lot better. Didn't we bomb them and have to rebuild their country? Okay. Venezuela, at the time of that report, 72% of the respondents said they were worse off, and 10% said they were better off. Considering their current state of affairs, yeah, the numbers make sense. Venezuela. So in a nutshell, more than half the countries in the whole wide world responded that life is worse now. So only 50 years ago, during my lifetime, personal computers and cell phones were considered science fiction. Nobody had ever heard of that. Just 50 years ago. However, people across the globe had differing opinions about, what they considered back in the day as sci-fi and what have you. In terms of basic necessities, the rise of technology has given us access to a world of information, communication, and entertainment. Technology. We use it for our information, communication, and entertainment. All of this is at your fingertips because all you're doing is using your phone or your computer, pecking. You don't even have to know how to type. You sometimes don't even have to know how to spell. So you can sit on your couch right now and you can order food, fill a prescription, have it delivered. You can do your banking, see a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. You can attend a meeting, go to court, see a concert. You can have your car diagnosed. You can have your medical records read. You can even write a book. All in a day's work. From the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed at night, technology is in your life somewhere. I have a friend. She always tells me, I don't like computers. But you're using computers all the time. Your cell phone is a computer. Yeah, it is. So we have shifted, in my opinion, from a system of physical exchange where you did things in person. You saw your neighbor, you saw the banker, they knew you, you had a personal relationship with them, to now we are a digital presence online. Everybody has a digital footprint, a carbon footprint. I ordered something from somewhere, one of those stores online, and it told me how much my purchase impacted the carbon footprint. I had never seen that before. I'm like, man. And it was a lot. It was like 120, whatever the measurement is. It wasn't like it was 5 or 10. It was a lot. For ordering online, I think a dress or something. Anyway, for purposes of this report that I'm doing, we're going to focus on the United States and over the last 50 years. All right? So, many reports conclude that the way people perceive whether life is better or worse is pretty much based on the economy. If your country is doing well, the citizens are happy, well, maybe not happy, but the citizens are thriving, the economy is robust, things are moving the way they're supposed to, pretty much most scientific reports say that these folks are happy. They're happier now than they were 50 years ago. But in the U.S., a lot of the division is across party lines. No surprise there. Republicans tend to feel that life is better than 50 years ago. So let's take a look at the areas of importance or of most importance. Technology and convenience. Technology has played a major role in life being more convenient. Would you agree? Everywhere you look is technology. You use technology to do something in your day, whether it's the remote control, the cell phone, talking to Alexa, talking to, what's the other one? So that Siri, any of that. Those are technological advances that we didn't have 50 years ago. Healthcare. Medical advancements have greatly improved life expectancy. Yeah, we're living longer. I've said that before, and now that we're seniors, we're living longer and we are healthier than we were 50 years ago. Life expectancy was reported at 51% in 1960, and then in 2019, I don't have current data. I can get it if you want it. Just drop me a line. 73%. So a 20% gain in life expectancy. Yeah. Mortality. Economic growth. The stats say that global poverty has decreased, according to this report. Personally, I don't agree. Again, I think this report was done in 2023, and right now we're in 2026 and 24 and 2025. People are starving all over the world. They continue to starve all over the world. Every time I look at my phone, it's somebody on there asking for relief or donations to relief funds for feeding people. So I'm not so sure that that's completely true. Social progress. We are more inclusive today, more tolerant. Greater rights are being reported for women, minorities, and the LGBTQ community. That was up until January of 2025 when things began to take a nosedive. I'm just reporting the facts. Safety and information. The mortality rate from natural disaster globally has fallen by about 99%. We're almost at 100% in being safe or being able to recover or survive a natural disaster. And theoretically, we're supposed to be safer in our homes and our country a lot more than we were 50 years ago. Do you agree? I don't know. While many inroads have been realized, the vast majority feel it was easier to live off the grid, meet people in person, and support a family on a single income back in the day. It's not so true now. Today we have electric vehicles that drive themselves. There's still some safety issues with those things. You can hop on a plane and in about 8 hours you can be almost anywhere in the world. Shopping is almost completely done online for most of your needs. TV is a thing of the past. Now practically everything is streaming via satellite and the internet. Getting a date has even changed. Gone are the days of blind dates or bar hookups. That ain't happening no more. Even banking and investing have gone into cyberspace. So let's not even look at the seasons, the climate change. It's hard to tell them apart anymore. Days are whizzing past so fast. 1 minute is Monday, and before you know it, it's Sunday all over again. That's a complete change from 50 years ago, when life seemed to be slowing down. For me personally, I'm on the fence, particularly as an African American female. Some things have improved, while other factors remain stagnant. Race relations, which was on an upswing, seems to be drifting back into some uncomfortable place. Roe v. Wade, voter rights, educational advancements, and wealth disparity. That gap is even wider than it was 50 years ago. Of course, this is my personal opinion. What do you think? Just 50 years ago, life seemed very simple. You were content to get a decent education, get a well-paying job, buy a home, start a family, live a pretty orderly life. You would raise your family, retire, and look forward to a comfortable existence. Travel a little bit, had a little nest egg. Now it seems we are rushing toward an unexpected end. The current economic and political climate in this country has left a lot to be desired. A real longing for the past, when life was simpler, safer, and secure. At least we were led to believe it was the good life. Only now we find out that most of what we were told was a lie, or just a little south of the truth. Now that we are enlightened through the information readily available to anybody who's willing to search for it, Google it, any of that. All of this is accessible on the internet, but everything is subject to scrutiny. Could be potentially fake news. You got to watch everything. I mean, AI is making life difficult, to say the least. You don't know who's real and who's fake, even when you're looking at it with your own two eyes. Never before in my lifetime do I remember the highest office in the land being party to so much divisive interventions, with a stroke of a pen, literally changing history, erasing whole systems, and accepting the murder of its citizens. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that is not the country it was 50 years ago. I hope something has been said here that made you want to answer the question, are you better off now than in the past? Remember, you don't know what you don't know. You better ask somebody. Thanks for listening. Good night.